Now, when you had the incident in San Francisco, was that at the On Broadway or the Elite Club?
That was the second time we went out, the
Right.
Elite Club. We played twice in Frisco the first time we went out. We
Right.
played one night at the On Broadway and the next night at the Sound of Music, which was packed.
Well, it seems like a lot of people in San Francisco won't forget that incident because it's been so blown out of proportion.
Well, that's why. It's been blown out of proportion. I think, didn't Johnny Thunders kill someone with his guitar in Frisco?
I don't think anybody remembers that.
Yeah, okay. And also, the guys from Fear had said that they hit somebody with their guitar, and I know the guys from Flipper used to regularly hit
Well, just
people.
recently somebody played and they hit somebody in the head with a guitar, but I'm sure nobody's talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. I found out a lot about that incident also, that Bobby Steele had sent a few of his friends down to fuck with us, the guys from Whipping Boy and other people like that, and Ripper Magazine.
What was Bobby still out in San Francisco at that time?
No, he was back in New York,
Okay.
but he was still mad that we had kicked him out of the band for being a drug addict, you know, and being a total fuck up. So
was there let's say commotion or chaos happening the whole show, or did it just all of a sudden?
No, it was happening the whole show, basically.
Because I heard that you were being pelted with cans, correct?
Every band that played that night was being pelted with cans. Wes
That was
Robinson,
like the punk thing to do at that time.
at that time, and we were just not into it. All the other bands put up with it, and we didn't. We said, this is bullshit. Quit your stupid punk routine. You're being exactly what all these stupid magazines want you to be. Stupid idiot, you know?
Mm-hmm. How did the crowd respond to that?
Well, you know, one thing that's funny is that Maximum Rock and Roll and Ripper, or whoever was doing it at that time, didn't also state that half the people there, one of the reasons there was such a riot was half the people wanted to see our band play and didn't want this bullshit to go on. They wanted everybody to just calm down and let us finish our set. They paid to see us. They wanted to see the fucking Misfits. And that was never publicized.
I don't think Maximum Rock and Roll existed at that time. I think there was
Yes,
just a
they
radio
did.
show.
Well, why?
I don't know if the magazine existed at that time.
Well, they printed a lot of shit about us, so I don't know whose magazine that was then. I guess Timmy Yohannan, it was there. It was Maximum Rock and Roll, okay? I mean, you're wrong in that aspect. But
Well, what year was it that you played that show?
82.
Yeah, that's when it was first starting.
Yep. Anyway, I don't think that was fair at all. But then again, I don't think that a lot of what was going on then was fair. I mean,
Yeah, but let's say the argument from the other side would be it's like, because it's not necessary to hit what they call young kids.
well, why was that kid throwing full beer cans, unopened beer cans at Doyle?
Well, but remember, it's like, in their words, you know, it's like, he's under 18, he's a young kid, you know.
Hey, people in New York under 18 slash people's throats every day for a dime. That doesn't cut it with us. I don't want to hear that, you know.
Well, I'm just, you know, that's
Yeah.
just the two sides of it. It's like, you
No,
know,
it's a
it's like,
very, well, basically, I can't condone what Doyle did, okay? And I can't say also that he was wrong in doing it, because also don't forget Doyle was 16 at that time. So you have an underage kid throwing something at Doyle, and then you have an underage kid hitting another kid in the head. So
Right.
it equals out. Doyle was 16, and that kid was what, 15 or 16?
Right.
So there you go.
So did you notice the next time that you played in San Francisco, which you were like basically banned from San Francisco, weren't
We
you?
never played Frisco again.
Right. But when you came back as Sam Hain,
Yeah.
was the animosity still there?
No.
Nobody said anything.
No.
That's cool.
Well,
Because there was a time. There was
Oh,
a time
okay,
I
well,
knew
here's
that.
the deal. I think you're blowing the animosity out of proportion. Basically, maybe a lot of the people you hung around with felt that way because they're the communist punks and the Timmy
Not
Yohannan.
necessarily. There
No,
was-
I think so. Because
there was- yeah,
you
that's
work
true.
for Maximum Rock and Roll.
But it's true also.
But let me finish my sentence,
Okay.
and then you can say what you're going to say. Most of the people I knew from Frisco, and most of the people who wrote to me, and that's quite a few of them, had stated that they wished we would come back because they thought what we did was fantastic, that no one had ever stood up to these bully Marxist punks, okay, and these Nazi punks and stuff like that. And we were the only band to ever do that and put our foot down, and that they'd go to shows and they hated it because they couldn't get up front because these people always bullied everybody anyway and stuff like that. And a lot of people were totally into it. Also, I'd like to state that our T-shirt and record sales in San Francisco picked up dramatically after that incident.
Yeah, well, I also, you know, I was told that if you wore Misfits shirts, that certain people would beat you up. for
Certain
ripping-
people.
and
That's
rip
a
you.
group of like 10 people, all right, that would do that. Don't you think that's kind of fascist?
That is. But that's you know, when you get into this kind of I think political realm where you're preaching one thing to the other, you forget about that other people do exist in the world
and have rights themselves.
Right.
Well,
and
there
it's
you
like
go.
you know, you don't do what we do, then you're not worth being here.
Well, that's one of the arguments I always had with Maximum Rock and Roll. I would never tell them what to do, and I don't think they should tell other people what to do.
Right. So basically, let's see. Is it true that you were charged off the stage then? Is that, or a big fight started afterwards?
A
I've
big
heard so
fight
many rumors.
started. The whole audience was fighting each other for what was going to happen. The Misfits were going to play or they weren't going to play. It was total chaos. There was no security. We got Doyle off stage, and me, Jerry, and Googie were still playing. And we just said, this is bullshit. People in the audience were killing each other. I mean, like, violently fighting each other. And Wes said, I gotta get you guys out of here, it's just too crazy. And so we just walked off stage.
Did you get paid that night?
No, we didn't get paid that night. Nobody got paid that night, though. Wes Robinson, he beat the Meat Puppets on their guarantee. He beat us on our guarantee. He beat the Flesh Eaters on their guarantee. A lot of other bands
played on your show?
didn't get paid. Yeah. And so it was just total, you know, a total fiasco all the way around.